Hello again. For many years, South Africa was regarded as an international pariah for making ethnicity and skin colour the basis for citizenship and civil rights. How we used to cry out about the injustice of such a system in which somebody born with the wrong colour could be deprived of rights which were taken for granted in more enlightened nations. The apartheid regime was universally condemned. Imagine if such a way of doing things were to be operated by a European country, run perhaps by a white nationalist regime which denied citizenship to anybody who was Asian, African or Caribbean. How shocking we would find a thing like this these days, and how swift everybody would be to condemn a country carrying on in that way. Somehow, though, we do not feel it necessary to extend our condemnation to African countries which use identical methods to those once used in South Africa to decide who should enjoy full political rights. Take Liberia, for example. The thumbnail to this video shows a section from the Constitution of Liberia, a country in West Africa. Allow me to quote from it. Chapter 4, Article 27, Section B of the Liberian National Constitution. In order to preserve, foster and maintain the positive Liberian culture, values and character, only persons who are Negroes or of Negro descent shall qualify by birth or naturalisation to be citizens of Liberia. I wonder if anybody has seen campaigns to denounce Liberia for its racist constitution. No? That's curious. After all, Liberians come to this country and become citizens, but the process cannot work in the opposite direction. Even if I married a Liberian woman and went to live in Liberia, I could never become a Liberian citizen, because my skin is the wrong colour. Two things occur to me about this strange state of affairs. The first is that I don't see any protests in London about such a shockingly racist country in Africa, one which is explicitly linking citizenship with the colour of a person's skin. Isn't this what apartheid was all about, and weren't people disgusted and outraged by that kind of thing? How is this any different? The second point should be glaringly obvious. I am quite prepared to believe that the Liberians wish to preserve their own distinct character, culture and values. But guess what? So do I. What do you suppose people would say if somebody started a political party in Britain which had at its heart a declaration similar in nature to the Constitution of Liberia? Let's try it out, shall we, and see what it would sound like. In order to preserve, foster and maintain the positive British culture, values and character, only persons who are white shall qualify by birth or naturalisation to be citizens of Britain. How long do you think I could run an outfit with such a doctrine without the police taking an interest in me, or Channel 4 mounting an undercover operation to expose me as a fanatical white supremacist? And yet, what actually is the difference between this and the Constitution of Liberia? None whatever. By the by, in the description to this video I give a link to a publication by the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Refugees at the House of Commons about the experience of refugees in Britain. On page 11 it will be observed that these include Liberians, some of whom have now become British citizens. This is the problem with globalism, you see. It only works in one direction. African nations are quite free to celebrate and preserve their own distinctive character and culture by passing racially exclusive laws which forbid me from ever being a citizen of their countries, But if a European country tries the same thing, it is an act of racism. Thinking again now about South Africa, do you think that now I have drawn the attention of people in Britain to this apartheid regime in Africa, there will be pickets at the Liberian embassy? A campaign to forbid Liberian athletes from competing in international events? I'm perfectly sure that there will not be anything of the kind. If ethno-nationalism is a bad thing, then it's surely a bad thing when black governments indulge in it, as well as white.